imposter syndrome usually show up in individuals who are high achievers, and they're battling this thing quietly. And I feel like I needed to talk about it. I know it's Friday evening, and I know you want to go off into your weekend and think about all the happy, fun things, but it's burning me in my heart. And I'm like, I got to share about this because there's somebody out there that this message can reach. I want you to know that imposter syndrome is not a lack of ability. You're not lacking ability. It's more like it's happening because your growth, you're outpacing your growth. In other words, your growth is outpacing your self-image. What self-image do you have of yourself? What value do you think about yourself? One of the exercises that I had my clients do today to get them centered and to get them back on track is to use their name and find positive, transformative, empowering words to describe each letter in their name so that they can stand on it. This is what they believe about themselves. This is what others have said they saw in them, or these are aspirations that they have about themselves. It is so important that you remember, as a high achiever battling imposter syndrome, know your self-image, know your worth, know your value. Here's the thing. You're in a new role. You're stretching, you're being seen more, you're doing more, you're carrying more responsibility, and your identity hasn't gotten caught up with where you are. So you're thinking, what do you think? Who do you think you are? That's the question you're asking. Who do you think you are? Who do you think you are? And that's the wrong question, right? You have to stand on alignment. You have to stand on your abilities. You have to stand on your achievement. You have to stand on what you know, who you are, your gifts, your talents that brought you in the role in the first place, because they saw something in you when they hired you. They didn't just hire you because of your good looks. They hired you because you had something to contribute to the team, to the organization. It's so important. And here's the truth about imposter syndrome. It's not saying you are not qualified. It's not saying that at all. You are qualified. What it is saying that you're in stretch season. You're stretching yourself, you're being stretched, and you've got to get present to that. The mistakes people make is trying to eliminate imposter syndrome, the behaviors and the feeling of it, before acting. You got to jump in and stay true to what you know has worked, what you know is working, your gifts, your talent, and not disappear. You have to move in the room as if you know you belong. And that's where I come in as your coach to help you build that muscle. Because once you build that muscle, and building a muscle is repeated lifting, you have to do it over and over. And I want to work with you so that you know you're not alone, right? Click the link in my bio. I have an event coming up on the 20th, how to have the best year ever. And in order to have the best year ever as a high achiever, you've got to battle and you have to win the battle over what imposter syndrome is bringing up for you. You're not unqualified. You're gifted. You're just being stretched right now in the place where you are. And you've got to remember, there are ways to manage it. So I'm going to give you a few of them. Number one, you got to name it. You got to name the thing. You got to give it a name. Naming it, it takes away, how can I put it? Naming it takes away the authority that this thing is trying to take from you, right? It's important, Natasha, it's important that you don't allow imposter syndrome to rob you. You may feel like I'm unqualified. It's okay to feel a little nervous and uncomfortable because this is the first time you've been in this role. You're being stretched. You're taking on something new. Just remember, they hired you because they saw value in you that you would add. So the first thing is to name it. The second thing that you have to do is look at what you have built. In other words, anchor in evidence, not emotions. Anchor in evidence, not your emotion. Find the proof in the pudding. What are those things that you can name and you can list of what you have done to showcase your skills, what you have done in the past, what you've done currently? Get present to all the things that you have done. If you are not present to what you have done, it will rob you of what's available to you to do. So if you want to win in 2026, you have to master your emotions over this thing called imposter syndrome. The third thing, you have to act in alignment and not confidence. This is one time you're not going to rely on confidence, because right now you're not feeling confident, but you got to be aligned. You have to act in your alignment. Confidence will follow, right? As you start to do it more and more and believe that you're aligned in the role that you're in, you're adding value. Willow, it's important that you make sure that you are aligned. Every aligned step that you take, restrain your brain to trust it. It's retraining your brain, I should say, to trust yourself, to retrust yourself again. If you have to make a list of your accomplishment and your gifts and your talent and put it on a sticky in your car, put it on a sticky in your bathroom, put it on a sticky where you can see it the first thing you're going out the door, or the last thing rather as you're going out the door, you put a list of your strength, your values. Remind yourself of who you are. Remind yourself of what's in you, because as a high achiever, you know you're skilled. And some of you are young, or you're in the space. Maybe you are the only woman on a team of more men, so you feel a little bit afraid, intimidated in the space that you're in. The other thing too is you could be the youngest one on the team, and I get it. You're brilliant, and that's why they hired you. So I want you to get present to your gifts, to your talents, and know what brought you in the room in the first place, and have a place where you have a list of things that to remind you. And if you struggle, that's where I come in as your coach. Let's connect. Click the link in my bio and register for the upcoming event on the 20th. And then you will find out ways to connect with me as your coach to help you walk through this experience. The other thing that I want you to remember is that imposter syndrome often will show up right before you expand. It's right on the edges of you expanding. So don't back down. Lean into your gifts, into your talents, into your knowledge, into your wit, into your determination. Lean into that, because it's not a time to retreat. It's not a time to retreat. It's a time to recalibrate. Do not retreat in the face of imposter syndrome showing its ugly head, because it's coming to steal from you. It's important that you lean into who you know you are. You don't need to become someone else. You don't need to become someone else. You need to believe that the version of you already exists. The version of who you are already exists, because you were hired in this role. You were looked at as a subject matter expert. You were looked at as someone that's going to make a difference in the company, on the team. Remember always, what are you good at? What are your core values? What are your strengths? And show up as that powerful man, that powerful woman in that space. Remind yourself every day. Take a mirror or go by the mirror in your bathroom and talk to yourself. Manage your self-talk. Manage the chatter that's going on in your head. If you can manage it, you will overcome it. And I want you to join me on the 20th so we can create the best year ever. So as a high performer, as a brilliant person, surpassing your age, you can stand on your power, not in it. Stand on your power, the knowledge that you have. Use your name, create a story, an empowering story with the letters in your name. And we can walk through that in a one-to-one, right? I want you to win. So thank you so much for meeting me here. I needed to get this off my chest. I wanted to remind you that you can master imposter syndrome. Just know when it's showing, it's expansion on the horizon. So get ready for who you're becoming and the light that's being shined on you to showcase everything that's in you. You have the power within. Look within and step out like you know you belong, because you do. We'll talk soon. Thank you, Olivia, for meeting me here. Thank you, each and every one of you. Thank you, Natasha. Thank you. I'm looking at some names here. Well, thank you all. I appreciate it. I feel better now. I can go on and enjoy my weekend because I aired off my chest. I needed to just remind you, high performers, that you are needed. And you need to believe in you. And you got what you need on the inside. So tap in. You got it. All right. We'll talk soon. Bye bye.